thank you everyone for voting now. I'd like to welcome back to the stage Beth Taylor.
Thanks, Sean. So what do you think?
I liked it a lot. It was very fun. I learned a lot.
How's it different than Skiff's innovation?
Oh, it's beyond words.
Yeah. We really want to thank you, Sean, for coming and hosting this. Big round of applause for Sean.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you. I'm going to leave you to it.
Oh, yeah, you're right there. So while the votes are getting tallied, I'm going to close out for the day. We've talked a lot about POSE already. That's the rooftop, penthouse, club, whatever you want to call it. So to wrap up, this will be a quick couple of minutes. You guys just did a lot of voting for each individual speaker. This is about the session. So again, we use this data to decide the agenda, data nerds amongst us. Let us know how the Innovation Showcase went this year. If it's on point, let us know. It will impact how we slate next year. So you don't have 60 seconds, but since your apps and your browsers are up, please go in and vote. I guess there is a 60-second, okay. Okay, thanks. All right, so now it's about what's next, right? So I mentioned tonight, this will be at sunset. So 6:30 is right at that beautiful point where it's sunset over Washington, D.C. You can see the monuments. It is a beautiful, beautiful venue. In order to get to POSE, it's right at the entry to the hotel. So where you would valet your car, that's where you go. Happy cards. Is Bob still in the room? Bob would love to see your happy cards. Okay, to close. So we talked about context earlier, and I really liked what Nina said about innovation happening in teams. Since I've come into ATPCO, the one thing I will say, it is a very altruistic team. This is a team environment, even though you are all commercially incentivized, most of you. So I thought that it was pretty important to think about not just you guys as one team, one family, even though you each have your own competitive interests, but you guys come here to progress the industry in industry innovation, right? So we want to thank you for that. I also want to thank all of our speakers today. I thought the content today was really strong. We've got another strong agenda tomorrow morning. We're going to start with a block on trends, unique ideas, and perspectives. And again, that's back to context, right? So looking at context tied to market growth. We're going to be looking at Asia in particular. Context tied to technology. So what does a modern infrastructure stack look like to support retailing? And context tied to consumers. So Gen Z and digital natives. Although there's probably people that consider themselves digital ninja natives amongst us, it's really going to be looking at how they're poised to influence future display. So get excited for tomorrow's agenda. And with that, I'm going to kill time until the vote comes in. Yep.
Back to my microphone or not?
There you go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think all of us in this room have been to a lot of industry events and we see things. It's really great to have mixed up, try to make it instead of a startup pitch, have a different talk about innovation. I also particularly liked the opportunity to have people coming across different sectors and their different approaches to things. So thank you for having me.
Great,
really appreciate it.
Actually, just context for you guys, I went out to breakfast with Sean about a year ago. And I sat with him and I talked to him about how there is a sense of family amongst every single one of you and how surprising that actually becomes because you think of all the industry events and they are heavily sponsored. Rolf mentioned this morning, this is one of the last clean events, all about content, which makes it even more special that you guys all joined us and that, the likes of Sean was able to come and facilitate the showcase. So
yeah, keep the sales to a minimum sort of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's a little bit like a family reunion, right? Yeah.
Who's at a family reunion? Does anyone feel that way? Libby, who's in year one in the industry. All right, so it sounds like we have our winner. So drum roll, please. Bragging rights for the rest of the night. Oh, I gotta click.
Want me to hold something?
Oh, Curtis.
And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Congratulations.
Utterly shocking. Thank you all so much. Yes.
do you want to say to the
we're really
crowd?
proud of the work we've done with the teams. My boss Ty, of course, has been instrumental. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention my former coworker Elliot McNamee, who also now works for Amtrav, but was instrumental in bringing NDC to life, including features such as dynamic bundled fare. So thanks very much.
All right. Let's hear it for Curtis. All right, so everyone buy Curtis a drink later at Pose. We'll see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for breakfast. And the first session kicks off at 9. So see you then.